Hello everyone and welcome to another video with Yoseka. Today I have a very exciting video. This will be about the new plotter sizes and just binder sizes in general. So if you are looking for more of an overview of binder systems, binder sizes, what's compatible with what, this will go over some of that, but you might want to watch our other video first, which goes over a more universal sizing range. This video will mostly focus on plotter, and I'll venture into Reime a little bit. I have some other items here to compare sizing with, so I'll be talking about that. But if you're looking for something a little more general, a little more of an overview of all binder sizes and compatibility, we'll leave a link to the video somewhere, maybe in like the top corner here, or at least a link in the description. So maybe go check that out first. But if you are here specifically for a plotter, this video is the right place to be. So as you can see here, I have the full lineup of plotter sizes in front of me, which is very exciting because in the past, the only sizes that were available in the US for retailers were these sizes. They're A5, Bible, and mini size. And so now we have a more complete range of sizing from Plotter, which is very exciting. So I'll walk you through what these are and how they compare to these other sizes that you might be more familiar with. So let me introduce the new sizes from Plotter since we're already familiar with the A5, Bible, and mini size. These are the new, or new to us, narrow and mini 5 size. So the comparison between the sizes of these, I'll start with the narrow one, is you have A5, which is the biggest size. Bible is their next smaller size, and it's got this split 6-ring 3-and-3 configuration like this. The narrow size also has that same configuration, and when you look at it, the Bible size is the same height as the narrow size. So the only thing that's different about the narrow is the width here, like this. So it's a little more of like a wallet size. And let me do like a quick aside about this color here. This is the Shiranami Blue color, which is the US exclusive color from Plotter. It's very pretty and it has this white wax bloom on it. And I know when you say like this is a blue color of a cover, it looks very different from their standard blue, but it's because this white bloom that happens will wear down over time with natural use. As you can see, some out of the box, like there's like some natural scratches that have already happened, but that is perfectly okay because this white wax will kind of wear down and reveal more of the rich blue underneath, the bright blue underneath this bloom over time. But if you really don't like that white color, you can actually just rub this into the cover and kind of wipe it off. So it doesn't have to be white, but I think having that bloom and the natural wear of the cover is something that's really beautiful about it. So this is the Shiranami Blue color. The inside is very nice. So this is another thing that is new to us, along with the narrow cover. But here's a look at this. I also have this side camera here to show you some of the close-ups of the covers. I think this might just give a better feel of what the cover looks like. Nothing too special. Here's the more raw edges. It's a little bit different than the regular color. So you can really see the texture of the Shiranami Blue cover. It's very interesting that there's like this whiter inner portion. I really like that. But this is the difference between the two covers. Hopefully you can get a better sense with this camera. But yeah, that is the Bible and narrow size. You can see on the inside they're different. Also, these, you'll notice, I just happened to pull this out, but these rings are gold. Plotter used to have gold rings in their binders, but now they are all silver. This one, I just happened to pull out, so lucky, but most of them going forward will be silver. So this, whoever gets this one, very lucky, but this is a bit of a gold one. And if you want to compare the narrow size to something else, I have two things here. This is a Bible size refill. So this is what would go inside of the Bible size binder usually. So you can see there's a lot of extra room on the side here with this refill. So when it closes, there will be about this much room to the edge between the refill and the edge. But with the narrow size, it's very interesting This is what that looks like. It's like very, very close. I'll actually take this out and show you just how it fits in case you want to attempt putting in Bible size refills into the narrow size. So there you go. The Bible size does fit, but when you close it, it'll stick out a little bit. So that is the main difference between the Bible and the narrow size, that width. Like if you keep it open, the papers do technically fit, but when you close it, they'll kind of jut out like this. So it's recommended to get the specific narrow size refills for the narrow plotter. But you can see those ring configurations are the same. So if you want to take matters into your own hands and get some Bible size refills and like cut it down, you can totally do that, up to you. If you want another comparison for what it looks like in comparison to a Hobonichi Weeks, I know a lot of people have one of these on hand, so if you want to compare the size of that, it is ever so slightly wider and shorter than the Hobonichi Weeks. This is mine, so I have like stuff in there, but just ignore that. This is what the size looks like. But the width is honestly very comparable. I've been using mine for a few months, so it's starting to get a little bit thicker. So these rings are like kind of similar in width to the Weeks. So that's another size comparison for the narrow plotter for you. Other than that, something else that is new from Plotter is the mini 5 size. Ooh, so cute and tiny. Look how cute and tiny it is. So for this mini 5 size, I'll start off by saying this green color is very nice. This is another color that is new, and it's a very olive gray kind of color. It's like not bright green in person, but you can definitely tell that it's green. It's very taupey, I'd say. So that's a look at this cover. Here's what it looks like on the inside. Very gray, grayish green, steely green. I like it a lot. So the first comparison I'll do is sizing in comparison to the narrow, since this is one of the thinner sizes from Plotter. So the mini 5 size is in comparison to the narrow, which is the thinnest size that we've had from Plotter so far, is about this wide. So it's definitely much smaller than the narrow, but there's also the mini from Plotter. So if you compare the narrow to the mini, they're about the same in width, like this. The narrow is just taller. Although to me, the narrow is ever so slightly actually smaller, like thinner than the mini. The mini is a little bit wider. So when they say narrow, they mean narrow. And since this is the most narrow size from Plotter, the mini 5 is even narrower, very, very small, like this. And the mini 5 compared to the mini is obviously smaller. And as I explained in the previous binder size explained video, the main difference between the mini 5 and the mini, also sometimes referred to as the mini 6, is the ring configuration and number of rings. So the mini 6 has 6 rings, mini 5 has 5 rings, although for Plotter, they just call it the mini and mini 5. So you want to make sure that whenever you're purchasing refills for these, you are purchasing the correct refills. But what's nice is that this mini 6 and mini 5 ring design is very cross-compatible among different brands. So if you're already familiar with Raymay or other binder systems, you can actually take their refills and they will be cross-compatible. So the mini 6, you can see here, this is called the Pocket from Raymay, fits into the Plotter mini size. And then over here, the mini 5 from Raymay is called the same thing. It's the mini 5 for Plotter. So those are also compatible. And these refills are so small and cute. But you just want to make sure that they're the same because the ring sizes are different. So you can't really like, here, actually I'll show you. Let's open this up. Okay, so here's the mini 5 refill from Raymay. And here's the mini size from Plotter. And the rings are the same width, but obviously these are much smaller. So if you do so desire to purchase a smaller refill, those rings will line up, but they're much better suited for the mini 5, which is what they're meant for, the 5-fold binder. So just like that, they fit in. Perfect. That's what it looks like with a little refill in there. Some space to the edge, like that. And this is what it looks like. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of what the binder actually looks like. I think on camera, this is actually showing up a little bit darker than it is in person. In person, it looks a little grayer, but on camera, it's showing up quite dark like this. That's quite dark. I think this looks quite gray-green in person. So there you go. That is a comparison for you there. Here's the full lineup of everything I will show together. We have A5, biggest size from Plotter. Bible size, second biggest size, a little bit wider than the narrow here. Then next we have the mini, which is just ever so slightly wider than the narrow and shorter. And then the mini 5, which is the smallest, shortest, thinnest out of all of them. So there you go. All 5 sizes, all next to each other. They each have their own respective refills, but as I said before, if you happen to find something, some of these rings are cross-compatible, like the Bible and the narrow have the same ring configuration, so you could chop up those refills if you do so wish. And the mini and mini 5 have similar ring configurations, but less of a number. So mini 5 could fit in the mini/mini 6, but it'll be smaller, obviously, and it only fits on 5 rings. So that is the full comparison. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below in the comments and I will try to answer them as best as I can. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!